You look like a monster, hideous, disgusting, and despicable. Yep, sounds like body dysmorphia to me. First, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie. I'm Long Island's eating disorder specialist. I post on this channel twice a week all about eating disorders, body image issues, and general mental health. So if any of that interests you, consider subscribing. And while you're at it, subscribe to my email list using the link in the description below. Every week at the beginning of the week, I send out an email letting you know of all the cool content I have coming forward that week, along with any announcements and collaborations that I am working on or announcing. In addition to that, I create worksheets to go along with many of my videos, and I always send those worksheets out at the beginning of the week so that you can use them in conjunction with my videos to get the most out of it. One of my followers on Instagram had recently asked if I could do more content on body dysmorphia. So that's what I really want to focus on in this video. It is really important, and I believe that even in my channel, it has been overshadowed by my talking about eating disorders so much. And it's something that it's really important to talk about. So if that's anything for you, that maybe you're thinking that there's another part of eating disorders, body image issues, body dysmorphia that you would like me to talk more about, please let me know so that I could do videos, provide content that is helpful for you, because that is ultimately what I'm here for. So let me talk a little bit about body dysmorphia if you have not heard of it or you don't know what it is, or if you just want a little bit of a refresher. Body dysmorphic disorder, by definition, is having extreme distress or worry about a slight or possibly even imagined defect within oneself. What that means in layman's terms is you may have something that totally is not existing, that you feel you look like. So that, I know I just made it more complicated. So let me actually describe it where it makes more sense. I'm going to give you an example. One of the examples that I give, especially when I do presentations at schools, is, let's say, our eyes, for instance. First off, let's just face it, we're not really symmetrical creatures. We are not perfectly symmetrical. We're not really meant to be. That's just design. So anyway, you may have, maybe your eyes are perfectly symmetrical, or like most people, they are slightly asymmetrical. So you may feel as though you're walking into the world like this, like bulgy one eye and the other eye like non-existent. And if you feel that way, you're going to walk into the world thinking that people are judging you, because probably you would get a little bit more people looking in your direction and making faces because you look very different. Not saying that's right, but that might be the way that you are perceiving and people are looking at you, because you have such a significant defect that is very visible to other people. However, whether or not that is completely made up or very, very emphasized, and that maybe, like I said, you are a little asymmetrical, however, really unrecognizable to anyone besides you, because we're our own worst critics, so we could really hone in on all those things and look ourselves in the mirror for like 20 minutes and say, yeah, this is definitely like 1 millimeter shorter than the other one, my eyelids, you know, whatever. We could do that so much. So what we really need to recognize is that that is our brain playing tricks with us. So let me go a little bit further and say that when it comes to eating disorders and body dysmorphia, you can have one without the other. However, most often I see them combined, and people usually suffer with both. Again, not that you can't have one without the other, but oftentimes I do see that my clients who struggle with eating disorders struggle with body dysmorphia as well. And they're very, very much tied into each other. One of the things also that happens when you are involved in an eating disorder, that can further morph your perception, your brain's perception. And this is literally, your brain is perceiving you to look very, very different than the way that you actually appear to most people. And what happens if you are struggling with an eating disorder, perhaps you are restricting your intake and you're not eating the amount of food and calories that you really should be, you are impacting your brain. And what happens is that it further impacts your perception and your ability to perceive things in a logical, realistic fashion. So that may take your body dysmorphia, whether it existed or not, and make it worse or create you to have this problem of body dysmorphia. Again, you might have had one or the other beforehand. It doesn't really matter. This is just one of the ways that you might find it play out. So when you are not eating the amount that you should, or perhaps you're purging a lot or whatnot, your brain is not getting what it needs. And your brain then is distorted further, causing you to feel even worse about yourself, which may lead you to engage more in eating disordered behaviors. However, for the rest of the video, I really want to talk a little bit more exclusively about body dysmorphia. So one of the things that is really, really important when it comes to body dysmorphia is to accept that you have it. And you usually will be able to detect that because hopefully you're getting treatment and they would diagnose you with that and explain that concept to you, that you are struggling with it. But you'll also probably see that a lot of other people around you, if you ever disclose what you feel like you look like, if you look in the mirror and saying like, I really look like a monster, and everyone's just like, okay, now they're looking at you like you're crazy. And that's a good indication that maybe I'm not really seeing myself in the way that other people see me. And that's going to be something that you need to start to accept. And that's hard because if you're seeing something and you're like, it's right in front of you. It's like me trying to convince you that the sky isn't blue. You're looking at it and being like, you're crazy, it's blue, and I'm telling you it's green. Like, it's just back and forth. And I could genuinely be seeing green. It's like blindness. You see something and you genuinely see something, but it's not the objective reality. And what we really need to be able to accept is that we're not seeing what everyone else is seeing. Because what happens is that if you are struggling with seeing yourself in a different light than what other people are perceiving you as, you're going to go out in the world, as I said before, thinking that everyone else is seeing you this way. And that's going to impact the way that you interact with the world, and therefore people interacting with you, and that can then make it so that people are not interacting with you as much because you're pushing them away more, or you're very standoffish because you're insecure, and then because they're not really approaching you, that confirms your own ideas that your body looks the way it does or your face looks the way that it does. Meanwhile, you're not really recognizing that it's actually because of your own perception of yourself that you are causing this to happen, because of your way of pushing people away. And that's just one way that it may look. So very, very important to accept that you are struggling with this and that you're not perceiving yourself in the same way that other people are perceiving you. And another big part of it is that I know that so many people talk about body positivity, and I would love for you to get to that one day. However, that's oftentimes it's a huge stretch for people. If you're going from like hating your body and hating the way that you look, I don't expect you that tomorrow you're going to wake up and be like, I'm beautiful, I'm sexy, I'm hot, I'm wonderful, I'm this awesome, gorgeous being. You're not. You're simply just not going to get to that place overnight, or probably even in a short period of time. And that's okay. What we really need to work on is neutralizing and figuring out a way to start neutralizing the beliefs that we have about ourselves, neutralizing the thoughts that we're saying about ourselves, the statements that we're saying to ourselves. And what that might look like is when you're looking in the mirror and saying, I'm a monster, I look like a monster, how about just saying, I'm human, I look like a human being? Or you're saying that my eyes just look ridiculously ugly. You could say, look at it and be more objective and be like, my eyes are gray, or my eyes are blue or green, or whatever it is. You can look at it and say a neutral statement that doesn't mean anything other than just the facts. And basically all you're doing there is stating facts, that your eyes, whatever color it is, that you look like a human being, because you do, you're human, you're watching this, you are. And using those types of statements to respond to those hideous statements, those statements that are telling you all these nasty things about yourself. Neutralize those statements by saying objective facts. Healing from body dysmorphia is most certainly a task, and a hard one at that. But these are the ways that it could start to help you to recover and start to help you be able to see that there are alternate possibilities besides the perception that you have of yourself. There might be something else out there. There might be other things that are reality and other facts that you are simply just not seeing at this point in time, which is fine. However, acceptance and willingness to accept that there is open and alternative possibilities, that's what's really going to be important. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions about body dysmorphia. because it can be a really confusing concept and a lot of people might not even recognize that they're struggling with it. So I really want to be open about that and talking about the things that maybe you're questioning or concerned about. You can click my face over here to subscribe to my channel, and I wish you a more logical, reasonable, and true perception of yourself on your journey to finding your state of balance. And I will see you in my next video.